Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about Dungeons & Dragons, and I want to talk about Bigby Presents the Glory of the Giants and what Dungeons & Dragons designers are doing with the Ordning. So I think the most interesting part of, I really love Bigby Presents Glory of the Giants. I love everything about it. I love the size, 192 pages, rolling it back from 256 pages. I think 192 should be the maximum amount of pages for a Dungeons & Dragons setting or adventure book. I think 256 pages, actually, you know what? I really think even, I know they're not going to do it, but I actually think it would have been really a great idea to reduce the MM, the PHB, and the Monster Manual for the 2024 core rule books. I think it would have been a brilliant idea to reduce them all to 64 pages and then release them with a screen as a single slipcase, right? Like, all of the rules would have been in under 200 pages, right? I really think that would have been a brilliant idea. I know for a fact it's absolutely possible. It could be done. And I actually think it would have been very successful. I'm actually in support of reducing the page count on Dungeons & Dragons Canon hardbacks and not reducing the price, because I think they're D&D Canon hardbacks and are underpriced as it stands, right? They're a physical element that contains Dungeons & Dragons rules. I think generally they go up in price. There's a Monster Manual right now with Gary Gygax's signature from his estate, selling for $11,000. Like, is the current bid on it. It's pretty wild. There's definitely a market for these physical D&D books. So, but I really think it's fascinating what they're doing with the Ordning. So, what is the Ordning? The Ordning is a fundamental belief of Dungeons & Dragons giants across multiple realms, that giants are more valuable and more worthy of glory, from Annam, based on what type of giant they are. Okay, so basically, Storm is the highest, and Cloud is next, and then lower in value, right? Like, this is a shocking, like, the Ordning is quite shocking, right? They're saying that Annam loves them, and loves them less and are less worthy of glory. And then the next ones are Fire and Frost, in that order. Fire is more important, more worthy of glory than Frost. And then finally, Stone and Hill, right? So Stone and Hill. And I couldn't believe it. The D&D Canon hardback actually says specifically that the most worst stone giant is better than the best hill giant. This is a absolutely staggering statement, right? Because in human society, we are doing every single thing possible to move away from rankings based on attributes of your birth, and saying this is repugnant and we don't want anything to do with it, right? But they're saying, in these different realms, because of their beliefs in Annam and Dion Castra, the Ordning really structures who's worthy of glory and who's worthy of Annam's love, right? It's astounding. It's really astounding. But what I thought was really brilliant was, once they establish this and they put this in the book, the next thing they do is they say, hey, what if the non-player characters you're running, the entities you're running, the giants believe different? And there's an entire section in the D&D Canon hardback that very carefully, specifically, crafts a new narrative on this, right? And it says, and it goes into high detail in the D&D Canon hardback about rejecting the Ordning, right? So D&D designers are saying, hey, these creatures are different. They're fundamentally different than human beings, right? They have these values that we would find repugnant, right? Ordering anyone based on some single attribute from their birth is outrageously inhuman, right? And what they're saying is that these giants are inhuman, right? And then they're carefully providing an incredibly ornate structure to reject the ordning. And there's no less than like 7 structured processes that they say if the giants in your world reject the ordning, here's how they can do it, and here's how they can even thrive in different realms as they reject the ordning. That is very mature design, right? It is extreme, and it's risk taking, and it is not only is it risk taking, but it's bold, it's brave, and it's really fascinating. It's a fascinating approach to design, to come at a problem head on, saying, hey, giants are monsters in many Dungeons and Dragons realms. So understanding that they are monsters in different realms, where do we land with treating these monsters as thinking agents, right? And saying, hey, they really believe fundamentally different things that we would find repugnant, right? But if you have a problem with that in your game, here's some literally some very